Hey doing everyone, welcome back. Well, tell you what, if you've been watching this whole Trump versus Harvard thing that's been going on, yes, Harvard University, he wants to take away funding for scientific research from Harvard, and he wants to take away their ability to have foreign students. And I'm trying to figure out, why is this a good thing? If you want to take away the research, I mean, Harvard, yeah, they benefit from it, sure. Guess who else benefits from it? Literally everyone else. Everyone. We all benefit from the research that they do, right? You know, I mean, it could be medical, it could be, some other kind of scientific research. There is no reason to deny them their research funding. And foreign students, why don't we want the best and the brightest from anywhere and everywhere coming here? Why don't we want that, right? Because you can't just get into Harvard, right? It's not like your local community college, right? Where you can struggle your way through high school and barely pass with a D- average and still get in, right? And, I don't know if that's exactly true, but, I mean, you get the point now. You should be, it's a lot easier to get into a local community college than it is to get into, like a state university or a private university or an Ivy League school like Harvard, right? I mean, Ivy League, Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, those are all difficult schools to get into, right? At Cambridge, they bent the knee and bowed down and kissed the ring and whatever other metaphor you want to use. They bent over and, well, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, Harvard. We don't want international students to attend Harvard? I mean, yeah, all right, some of them are going to go home to their countries with the education provided in this country, but that's always been the case. And I don't understand why that's a bad thing. Because the more we educate people from other countries, particularly from countries that rely on the United States for aid, the more we educate their population, the less likely they are to rely on our country, right? Because they'll be able to have their own educated population to take care of their country. And even those who may not necessarily go home, they're the best and the brightest, right? That's why they're here. That's why they attend schools like Harvard, right? So, let me ask you this. How many times have you gone to see a doctor, you go to see your doctor, you don't know this doctor, right? And how many times is he perhaps from India or someplace like that, somewhere over in that region of the world? Pretty common thing, right? I mean, even here in lily white Iowa, right? It's a very white state, but yeah, an outsourced or a disproportionate, I guess, is a more appropriate word. A disproportionate number of our doctors are from other countries. And you know what? I don't care, because I want the best treatment that I can get. And I don't care who the doctor is, right? I don't care what you look like. I don't even really care about your personality all that much, or even your bedside manner, right? I mean, I know bedside manner is kind of important, but I want somebody who can take care of whatever it is that I'm going to have, that I need taken care of. You know, so I'm okay with, people from other countries coming here, for, well, I'm okay with people from other countries coming here anyway, but the best and the brightest from those countries going to our elite universities and then staying here? Why would we oppose that? Why? Why would we oppose that? I mean, we have been the world's dominant power since World War II. And why is that? It's because we promote the best and the brightest. We want people to come here. And wife is over there waving at me. So we want the best and the brightest coming here. We've always encouraged that, or at least officially we have, even though a lot of us really haven't encouraged that. And why don't you go back to where you came from kind of mentality? Well, because they contribute to our country, right? Which has contributed to us being a dominant power. And we're going to lose that status if we stop letting international students come to our universities. Right? Because why wouldn't we want, those who come here and want to go back, why wouldn't we want them to help out their own countries so that we don't have to do as much? And why wouldn't we want them, those that want to come over here and stay here, why wouldn't we want them here? Because they are in fields, medical fields, other scientific fields, they might be like NASA scientists or, whatever, nuclear engineers or whatever. Why would we not want that here? I can't think of a single reason not to have them here. And therefore, Harvard is right to stand their ground and not capitulate to this administration, regime. And I doubt anybody from Harvard is going to see this video, but if you do, keep up the good work. Keep standing your ground. Don't you dare back down. Don't you dare back down. You stand up and fight. And every other university needs to follow suit. Better yet, join Harvard in their fight. Right? Rather than waiting for the regime to come after you, join this fight. Because, look, I get it. They want to say it's in the name of ridding our country of anti-Semitism. Because any disagreement with the Israeli government is anti-Semitic, right? Well, I can have nothing against Jewish people, have nothing but respect for Jewish people, respect their faith even though I disagree with it. I don't hate the Jews. In fact, the Bible that I read has a lot of, God has a special place for the Jews, in the Bible that I read. And those who are not kind to the Jews, things don't turn out well for them. Right? With the Israeli government, that is not the same as the Jewish religion. So, I have nothing against Jewish people, but I have a lot against the Israeli government. But yeah, we have to get that kind of thinking out of our country. There's no place for that in our country? No, there's a place for that. And yes, college campuses and the protests on those campuses is one of the places where that belongs, including our Ivy League schools. You know, because it's supposed to be a place to learn, right? But learning isn't just facts and figures, right? It's not, learning about, it's not learning advanced math, advanced calculus or whatever. It's not just simply learning intricate details of history that most of us don't know, right? It's not just about learning the thought process of Jack London when he wrote Call of the Wild, for example. I mean, that's just an example that popped in my head, right? Or Shakespeare when he wrote Macbeth, right? It's not just learning that. The ability to think for yourself. That's what education is, right? Learning not what to think, but how to think. The people who are opposed to indoctrination want to indoctrinate. So they're just opposed to, I understand, if you don't want people to be indoctrinated to a certain way of thinking, I get it. But at the same time, you shouldn't also want to indoctrinate them to your way of thinking. I don't want to indoctrinate anybody. I'm out here telling you what I think. And if you agree with me, cool. If not, let me know why. I mean, I have a comment section for that, And if you're actually thinking, you're probably going to agree with some of what I say and disagree with some of it. Same thing like when you say stuff, when you have your opinions, there's a good chance that I'm going to agree with some of it and disagree with some of it. Because that's what thinking is, right? Thinking for yourself, being a free thinker, which is what is learned with advanced education. I mean, and it should actually be taught throughout life. But yeah, foreign students, we should absolutely welcome them, not only to benefit the countries that they came from, which in turn benefits us, but also to benefit our own country, for the ones that want to stay, that are a benefit to the ones that benefit our. Let me try this again, tripping over my words here. Those who want to stay are a benefit to our country, and those who want to go home are also a benefit to our country because they benefit their own countries, which reduces their reliance on us. It's a win-win for us. It's not, hey, they're here, therefore we're getting the raw end of the deal. Now, but what do you expect from a regime like this? Anyway, I'll see you next time.